Welcome to the Killer Innovation Show, the longest continuously produced podcast in history. Each week, Phil McKinney brings you the insights and strategies to amplify your creativity and innovation skills. Here's your host, Phil McKinney.
Welcome to this week's Killer Innovation Show. One of the skills that I've been working on lately is to try to boost my imagination. Now, you would think that after a 40-year career in the innovation space, that I could just tap into it. But like all skills, it's one that requires exercise. It requires work. But what I've really become aware of is I don't always have to be the source of the imagination. I can use the imagination of others, other speakers, YouTube videos, books I read. Those imaginations can be the spark. They can inspire me to innovate in a new area or try a new approach to a problem. So, this week's show, we're going to talk about the imagination of others as the inspiration for your innovation. So, before we jump into this week's episode, got that favor to ask: subscribe, get alerts when we post up new episodes. Also, follow us on social media. We do respond. We post on a regular basis, myself and other contributors to the network. And also share this show with others if you think they would benefit, or give us a comment, give us a thumbs up, give us feedback. We would love to hear from you. So without further ado, let's jump in to this week's episode. The statement, "What is now proved and commonplace was once just imagined," is a powerful statement. It speaks to the idea that anything is possible if we put our minds to it. And it's true. Many things that we now take for granted were once just ideas or dreams. For example, consider the internet. It's hard to imagine our world without it now. But it was once just a concept that people talked about in science fiction novels. Or consider the airplane. That too was once just an idea, and people laughed at the idea of flying through the air. So what does this mean for us? Some would say that if we can imagine something, then we can make it happen. The question I want to dig in on is the idea of the imagination of others inspiring our innovation. Do we ever truly have ideas that are not inspired by others? It seems that every idea we have is in some way influenced or inspired by something or someone else. We take in information from the world around us and process it in our own minds to come up with new ideas. But where do these ideas come from? And are they truly original? It's an interesting question to ponder, and it's one that doesn't really have a clear answer. But I think it's important to consider because it shows just how interconnected we all are. We may not realize it, but we are constantly being influenced by people and things around us. And in turn, we influence others with our ideas. What is inspiration? When most people think of the word inspiration, they probably think of artists or musicians. Someone who's inspired is someone who's filled with ideas and creativity and who's able to bring those ideas to life. But inspiration can come from anywhere. It can come from a painting, a song, a movie, or even just a conversation. Anything that touches our hearts or minds can spark inspiration in some way. And that's what makes it so special. Inspiration is personal and unique to each of us. What inspires one person may not inspire another person at all. So what exactly is inspiration? I like to think of it as the light bulb moment. It's that moment when an idea pops into your head and you suddenly see the things in a new way. You have the power to change things, to create something new and amazing. For me, inspiration is about the possibility. It's about seeing the potential in everything and believing that anything is possible. When I'm inspired, I feel like I can do anything. And that feeling is incredibly empowering. Now, is imagination the same as inspiration? So, what's the difference between them? What's the difference between imagination and inspiration? To me, imagination seems to be more about the creativity, the dreaming, while inspiration is more about bringing those dreams to life. Imagination is about possibilities, while inspiration is about actualization. Imagination can be a powerful tool, but it needs to be combined with hard work and determination in order to make that thing you imagined to become a reality. Inspiration is what gives us the motivation to turn our imaginations into reality. I think of inspiration as the light that guides us on our journey from imagination to reality. Imagination inspires, makes it real. It's that voice inside of us that tells us we can do it, that encourages us to keep going when we feel like giving up. And it's a force that cannot be denied. Once we're inspired, nothing can stop us from achieving our goals. I like to think of this bridge between imagination and reality is the inspiration. Without it, you may try to do something, but it is really hard. It's the thing that makes our dreams a reality, and it's a power that we all have inside of us. We just need to know how to access it. The topic today is the imagination of others as inspiration. Our world is constantly changing and evolving, and much of that change is due to the innovation of today's generation. But where did those innovations come from? Many of them come from the imagination of others. The imagination of others has been an inspiration for centuries. It's what has led to the creation of new technologies, medicines, and even entire civilizations. And it's a power that we all have access to. We just need to learn how to tap into it. The people who've inspired me most are the ones who never gave up on their dreams. Even when things were tough, they were the ones who refused to let their imagination die. And their passion and determination were infectious. They encouraged me to keep going on no matter what. When we tap into our imaginations, anything is possible. We can create anything we want. It is only limited by what we can imagine. And that's why imagination is so important. It allows us to dream big, see the world in new ways, to imagine a future that does not yet exist. One of the key sources for me in my imagination is science fiction writing. Science fiction writers help us to see the world in a new way and dream big. They've always been at the forefront of imagining new worlds and technologies. From early works like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein to modern classics like 1984 or Minority Report. Science fiction has given us a glimpse into what the future could hold. And while some of their predictions have come true, others still seem like far-off dreams. But that's the beauty of science fiction. It allows us to stretch our imagination and explore what could be. It helps us to question the status quo. For example, scuba was predicted in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne in 1875. Aldous Huxley described test tube babies in Brave New World in 1932, 30 years before the first test tube baby. Robots were first mentioned in Rosam's Universal Robot by Carl Capek in 1920. Cable TV was predicted by George Orwell's book 1984. The internet was predicted in 1898 in a Mark Twain story titled The London Times of 1904. Science fiction is more than just entertainment. It's a way of looking at the world differently. It challenges us to think about what could be, and it inspires us to turn those dreams into reality. So the next time you're feeling stuck, pick up a science fiction book and let your imagination take off. Who knows? You might just come up with that next big thing. Another source for inspiration is the imagination of children. Children are some of the most imaginative creatures on earth. They see the world in a completely different way from adults, and their imaginations are always running wild. In many ways, children are the perfect inspiration for us. They remind us to dream big and never give up on our goals. They show us that anything is possible. I am always amazed at how many ways a child can turn a toilet paper roll into a toy, or how they can turn a cardboard box into a fort. And their creativity is not just limited to physical objects. They can create entire worlds in their minds. When we were children, our imaginations were unlimited. We saw the world as a place of possibilities. But as we grow older, we start to lose that childlike imagination. We become more realistic and grounded in our thinking. It's not that we stop dreaming altogether. It's just that our dreams become smaller and more attainable. We no longer believe that we can achieve anything we set our minds to. But if we could recapture that childlike imagination, what if we could learn to dream big again? It's not impossible as it sounds. With a little effort and practice, we can all learn to tap into our imagination once again. How? By hanging out with children and letting their imagination inspire us. And while their imagination might seem silly or far-fetched, they often contain the seeds of great ideas. The bottom line, imagination is a powerful tool that we can all use to achieve our goals. It's the bridge between our dreams and reality. And it's a force that we can change the world. So never let your imagination die. Keep dreaming big and never give up. So what is inspiring you today? What imagination, what idea, concept from somebody else is inspiring you on the innovations that you're working on? I'd love to hear. Is it a book you're reading that maybe others should know about? Is it a speaker or a futurist that you follow on YouTube? Or some other form of imagination of the future that you're using as your inspiration? Share it. Put it into the show notes. Post it in comments. Join us in the conversation on social media, or hop on over to the innovators.network and you can comment on every one of the articles, posts, podcasts, and videos that we post over there. So I would love to hear what imagination, whose imagination, something other than yourself that is inspiring you, because that's a source that others may find also as inspiration. And as a community, sharing that insight, sharing that access, that is what helps all of us grow and improve and take our innovation abilities to the next level. And with that, I want to thank you for taking the time out of joining us this week here on the show. We are continuing our mission for the last 18 years of trying to produce content that is helpful and beneficial to you as you step up and work on improving and becoming more impactful in all the innovation efforts that you're doing. And I thank you for your time. Time is the most valuable asset that all of us have. We never have enough of it. You can't keep it. You can't store it. You can't bank it. Once it's gone, it's gone. And you've chosen to spend your time with us. I greatly appreciate that. And so with that, go out there this week. Take that idea that you're working on, that thing that maybe you have written in your idea notebook, or you have it on a whiteboard next to your desk. That thing that you just, has got you constantly thinking about it. Take that idea, take it to the next step. Even if that next step is just spending 15 minutes and flushing that idea out on your lunch hour. Take a piece of paper, note card with you to lunch, and just scribble. Build on those ideas. If you spend 15 minutes a day, every day, just working on that idea, within a year, you've taken that idea and moved it forward, and who knows, you may have changed the world. Don't give up. I have confidence in you. Your ideas are with all of that that's out there. Keep working on it. Let's all change the world. Let's make the world a better place. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Podcasting nonstop since 2005, this has been the Killer Innovation Show on the Innovators Network.